A story about a lovable little boy called Yahya. He was born without the very thing that immediately sets us apart, that identifies us to friends and strangers, a face. Yahya was 3 years old when he was brought to Australia last year from a small village in Morocco in the hope that our surgeons could find a way to help him. The team of brilliant doctors that successfully separated conjoined twins Trishna and Krishna 6 years ago made the decision to attempt a delicate and dangerous procedure. No one could be sure Yahya could survive the high-risk surgery. Our reporter is Dr. Andrew Rochford.
Ready to go.
Thank you. Hi guys, how are you? You ready to go? We're all anxious but looking forward to it. So it should be good, and it's going to take quite a while. You okay?
I'm a bit scared about it, to be honest.
What scares you the most?
If he doesn't pull through.
Three-year-old Yahya Jabali is about to have a life-changing operation. But there's a chance the surgery that could give him his best hope of having a normal life will also kill him.
This is craniofacial neurosurgery at its extreme. So this is like a cardiac surgeon having a horrendous heart operation and knowing that it was a 50-50 chance, but it was worth taking it because without it, the person would die. The problem here is that Yahya may not die if we don't operate, but he might if we do.
How I wonder what you are.
A kiss from you, please.
Former Melbourne homewares importer Fatima Baraka helped raise money to bring Yahya to Australia for the risky operation.
It's when Tony gets to do his magic. Okay?
In the hours ahead, Professor Tony Holmes and his team of surgeons at Melbourne's Royal Children's Hospital will attempt one of the toughest operations ever.
This kid doesn't look human, and I believe that it's the right of every body to look human.
The odds are stacked against Yahya, but this tough little 3-year-old has been battling long odds his whole life. I first met the toddler at his home in this tiny village in Morocco, on the northern tip of Africa. It was a confronting encounter because Yahya was born without a face. His parents kept him hidden from outsiders, but the local kids, especially his neighbour Heba, love him. She sees beyond the deformity to the sweet little boy within. Yahya can't see, and while he can hear, he can't talk. But he can laugh, and he loves a hug.
Yahya's deformity is severe. Sadly, there's not a nice way of saying that. Just here you can see where his eyes should have formed, and this hole in the middle of his face is his nose, or should be his nose. You can see his mouth is open and turned to the outside, and just here under my fingers, I can feel a pulsation because between my fingers and his brain, there's no bone, it's just skin. And yet, despite his deformity, this is a beautiful, very sweet 3-year-old boy. And you can understand just why his parents... I was so desperate to find him help. He is very much a 3-year-old boy. Goodness me. Oh, you're a rock star.
His parents, Fatima and Mustafa, can't access sophisticated medical care. They had no idea Yahya's development in the womb was abnormal. His condition came as a complete surprise.
Do you remember when Yahya was born and what it was like the first time that you saw his face?
I had a sense of joy that my first child was about to be born. I was very happy. When he was born, my wife's doctor called me and said, "Come see your son." But he didn't inform me what he was like until I saw him.
Local doctors couldn't help. Then a photo was posted on Facebook by one of the villagers.
There was a big phone number in red. It was quite obvious that it was a cry for help of some sort. And I found myself reaching for the phone and dialing the number.
Fatima Baraka was born in Morocco and now lives in Melbourne. She believed surgeons in Australia could help Yahya and set about raising funds and arranging the operation.
I can't wait to meet him. I don't see a deformed child. I just see this beautiful little child who's, yeah, he's just a beautiful little soul. That's all I see.
Fatima travelled to Morocco to meet the family and the little boy she desperately wanted to help. She was overwhelmed by what she saw. Fatima had promised to help and she was good to her word. A few days later, she flew back to Australia with Yahya and his mum. And before long, he was in hospital where 3D scans revealed the extent of the deformity. Whole sections of his skull had failed to fuse, leaving him without a nose, mouth and eyes.
We don't know what causes it. It's sporadic, it's not genetic, and most kids with the really severe ones probably would not survive pregnancy anyway. They would spontaneously abort early on in pregnancy. But some do.
So the fact he's reached 3 years of age with such significant deformity is quite rare.
I think it's very rare, incredibly rare.
And incredibly, Tony decided he could attempt the difficult and delicate surgery to repair Yahya's face. But there are dangers in operating.
The risks are that he can get leakage of fluid, meningitis, which is an infection of the fluid around the brain, air into the system while we're operating through the veins and going into his heart and causing heart failure. But his risks, we feel, are the same as any other large neurosurgical procedure. To be honest, we're hoping to really get that first operation underway in the very near future.
Very good news. It's very exciting.
It is, it's fantastic. It's amazing, eh?
He will have a human face. So then he has a chance of just being a normal child who happens to be blind. And hopefully that's what will happen.
No one knew it at the time, but Yahya's mum was 3 months pregnant when she left Morocco. She and her son moved in with Fatima, while doctors planned a series of surgeries that would be needed in the months ahead.
Where is the little man?
He's right here
Here he is.
on his little rocking horse.
Hello. Hello, mate. Yahya. Hello.
Yeah. Amo. Amo. Yeah.
How's your rocking horse? He looks good.
Oh, he's great. He's in really good health. He's a happy little boy. He's a little Aussie now.
Yahya's first surgery is unusual because it's designed to give him more skin that will eventually be used to repair his face. Tony's made incisions on each side of his scalp. Underneath, he's going to insert expanders that will stretch the skin, which he can then use at the big operation to build him a new nose. Over the next 6 weeks, Tony injects just a few millilitres of saline at a time into the balloon-like expanders. The result is this.
It's looking fantastic, although these are certainly getting bigger. His little pseudo horns.
That's amazing.
It's amazing how much skin you can get, isn't it? He's just a wonderful little fella, and we just hope we can get the best result for him.
Three months later, the balloons have almost doubled in size. Enough new skin for his facial reconstruction to go ahead.
He's a little fighter. He really has that fighter instinct in him. This is a kid whose parents were told to take him home. He won't live long.
Well, he's proving them wrong, isn't he?
Yeah, he's hanging in there.
Yahya's mum is desperately homesick and misses her husband Mustafa. She's also, by now, heavily pregnant. Fatima has told her they're at the airport to meet a friend. She has no idea her husband is about to appear. He's come for Yahya's big operation and possibly for the birth of their second child.
He said he's incredibly happy. It's very happy times for him. And he's look, I'm speechless. I'm just so happy for them to be together.
For the family, everything is coming to a head. Yahya's surgery will happen tomorrow. A new baby could happen any time.